writers starting out, stop being so secretive about your scripts when you're pitching. No one is stealing them. I've spoken to so many senior writers in this industry and almost none of them have been very secretive about their work. In fact, they take the first chance they get to share the idea with you, just to see your reaction. You know why? Because only the experienced writers know how difficult it is to put a film together, even after getting the most perfect story on paper. Even if they shout their idea on top of a rooftop, almost no one will care. Because they've tried putting together so many projects in the past that they've learned the hard way that it's not that easy. So they just don't care. They tell you their idea up front and they ask for your feedback, the most raw and honest feedback possible. They know there's no chance someone will steal their idea and produce it behind their back within a limited frame of time in an industry that's just limited to one city. See, the screenwriters who've gone through the grind long enough understand that people barely read scripts in the first place, let alone steal them. It's the new writers who feel too close to their material, who garb their vulnerability as being secretive, but it hampers your growth as a writer, yaar. Let me ask you this. How many screenplays have you read from complete strangers and felt like stealing it? Most of the time, even the person reading the script doesn't know how to evaluate it to determine if it's worth anything. And yes, I'm including creative producers from reputed production houses in this list too. See, we don't have a culture of stealing scripts. We have a culture of stealing from movies that have worked in the past. We just don't have that kind of script literacy in our country. And you as a writer should take advantage of that. Now, there are times when theft does happen and you should be very careful. But it happens in very specific scenarios. Scenario 1. When you're a complete newbie and you have no idea how the industry functions, but you magically manage to write a script that grabs, a producer's attention from a mainstream studio. But that almost never happens. Scenario 2. A writer friend who's more connected than you probably steals it without you realizing. That writer understands what makes a great script and is, of course, well aware of your talent. And of course, he's also not your friend. Scenario 3. When you're too difficult to work with and the producer foresees the potential harm you could cause during the collaboration. If you're lucky, you'll get paid enough to give away your rights and be thrown out of the writer's room. But these scenarios are rare. They require 2 people to recognize the value of the script, not 1. So if you're a new writer starting out, stop being so secretive about your story. Consider yourself lucky if someone takes out, 3 or 4 hours of their life just to read your script and give you feedback. Narrate your story to anyone you can get hold of, eat their ears. Be so annoying narrating your stories to everyone that people stop being nice to you and finally tell you exactly what they think about your story, which is exactly what you want. Here's another way to relook at your screenwriting journey. If you're so good that you can afford to have 1 or 2 scripts stolen, I guarantee you will have a prolific career ahead and no one can stop you from making it big. Trust me on this. Keep taking that feedback and you'll eventually find your way. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers guys, bye bye.